through a full FTMO challenge, guys. So week by week, I'm going to be taking you through my whole challenge and documenting the whole process. Everything from giving you my statement, giving you from my winning trades, my losing trades. If I fail the challenge, what is going to happen, if I'm going to try again, or if I pass it, whatever. The whole journey completely for you guys for free. You can download the report card, the statement, the everything is going to be. It's also linked, the broker is linked to Tradezilla, and this is to show you the power of trading, the power of prop firms, and how to do it. And it's not about, you know, succeeding every time. It's about really following the journey. So in this video, I actually talk about the analysis of my week one and the result of week one, which was a drawdown and a loss. But also at the same time, I've added some value to talk about how you can make 120k in a year from prop firms. It could be $1 million, it could be 12k, 24k, whatever number it is for you, but it's about breaking it down and having a clear plan of action to make your dreams come true. Now, this is why a reason is FTMO, is because you cannot fake the results. I go into the dashboard, you cannot fake anything with FTMO, just like you could not fake an audited track record. And that's why I'm walking you through this process, to make it really transparent and to get this. Plus, the payout is going to go somewhere very, very special to me and very near and dear to me as well. So this whole journey is going to be completely for free, shared to you guys. My strategy, the whole shebang, I'm going to make a full video once this is all completed, taking you through every single phase, from buying a challenge to taking every single trade, to go into each phase, my psychology, how I feel, absolutely everything, so you can learn and learn. Trust me, one of the best series coming out. So enjoy the webinar. It's going to be a long one, and see you at the end. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the full plan. I'm going to give you obviously why prop trading, because that's how we're going to use this means to make 120k, because that's the skill that we have. On top of that as well, props make better traders. I'm going to go through the guidance and a little good reminder of why it's such a strong plan. I'm going to go through the plan. I'm going to go through whiteboard teaching, and then also I want to kind of quickly show you guys is at the very end, I'm going to go through a whole market analysis, which I haven't done in a while, and pretty on point with these. So I will share this. So we'll go through a full market scanning. I'm also going to do some reps at the very end. This is actually homework that I actually have to do for myself. So instead of just doing the homework by myself, I'm going to do that here with you guys at the very, very end. And then last but not least, even though it's obviously CK, I can't trade with CK myself because I can't trade in my own firm. But I am doing FTMO. Now on FTMO, I'm doing the full journey, like every single trade. Now here's the first trade, here's the second trade. I'm going to go through everything in today to bring you guys up to date with where we're at. Even here is the whole kind of balance that we have as well. And we're going to go through pretty much setting up a whole flow chart for it as well, on how you guys can kind of plan out your trading and map everything out in terms of how you can kind of plan. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to apply for the bootcamp, link in the description below if you want to get some of those certificates, learn how to get those certificates, get payouts, etc. Basically, it's about how to become profitable from your to-do list, doing your reps, doing everything that it takes psychologically, better human, better trader. Now, as much as your strategy is important, that's only a third of the process. Then there's psychology, which is the second, and the final third is becoming profitable, about doing all the hard work after, you know, journaling and doing the XYZ. You'll get your own journal, you'll get your own mentor as well. There's a 2-week, I'm trading live, I'm teaching live as well. It's going to be absolutely amazing, because honestly, I've gone through so much recently that this bootcamp is going to be something else. So I'll see you there. Application link below, limited spots. Let's make it happen. Make the best trade of your life right now. And out in terms of finances, where you can kind of go. So there is so much value going to be in today's webinar. I don't even know where to start in terms of excitement, and I'm also hella sick still. But that's, I think I wanted to start with that and say that it's like I've got massive fever, but we still got to work, and I hope that you guys can kind of take that in as well, because at the end of the day, the dreams that you guys want is in the work that you need to put in. It's as simple as that. Like, whether you're sick, whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whatever it is, you still need to put that work in. Now, having that balance is absolutely fine to you and how you want to do it. But what I'm trying to kind of start with this is your work ethic must be 100%, because you are the only person who can change your life. And it's you versus you, me versus me. And of course, that CK Capital is us versus us. Now, what is prop trading, and like obviously why is prop trading? I'm assuming a lot of you guys know at what prop is. But ultimately, prop is a simulated environment where you're able to kind of trade it in this kind of simulated environment. That sounds so cliche to repeat the word, but it's actually the case. But the biggest thing is you actually have pretty much no capital at risk. Now, I remember when I first came into this, I was trading my own personal money for a very long time. And trading my own personal capital for a very long time pretty much means all of my capital is at risk. Whereas when you do prop firms, and look, CK is not the only one, there is tons of them. It's completely up to you what you want to do. I'm just sharing, you know, all obviously CK, because that's the company we work with, is you literally only have to have that 10% and then 5% profit target for whatever price that you kind of, you know, whatever challenge fee you ever sign up for. And that is the only amount of money that is at risk, which I think is insane, you know, compared to, you know, if you, let's just say you want to make 10k, making 10k from a personal account is going to cost you, well, you're going to need at least 6 figures to make it conservatively. If you want to try and flip $500 into 10k, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose. And also it will create a lot of bad habits and create a lot of gambling kind of trades, which is something that I kind of start. I don't know if a lot of you guys have done this, but when you start off with that 500 and you start flipping it, it's probably one of the best and worst things that you could do, because it's the best thing in terms of, oh wow, you can make a lot of money, but it's the worst thing in terms of all the habits and like the traits that you can kind of come from it. Now, from that said, prop firms are a stepping stone. I think that now everything, you know, we're trading, especially the whole idea of tailored, of trying to make 120k. For me, trying to make that 120k from, you know, 5k investment or whatever it is incredibly hard. But now, having that 100k capital, 200k capital just makes it incredibly easy, because even if you have that 100,000 and you have that even at 10% a month, right? I mean, 10% a month, let's just do a few examples just to kind of open you guys' minds. 5 and 2. So here times 1.1. Let's just change this into dollars, because I'm quite a visual person, and I find that visual really helps me learn. And then we'll do 5% and then 2%. Let's just lock these formulas in. 200,000. And then 500,000. Wow, that's a really good formula, Dan. Well done. I see you guys are going ham on that. But you can see, literally, if your Excel is love, I literally love Excel. So the thing is, even from here, from a visual point of view, if you want to see, like, I know 10% is kind of the rough profit target, but personally, one of the things I've kind of found is that doing 10% a month is actually quite stressful. It's very stressful in the sense that you will end up blowing your account a lot more, because essentially, if you think about it, you're trying to make 10%, pretty much 100% of the account all the time. But conservatively, if you could do 2%, this is very, 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 very achievable in the long run. Right now, this goes to show, like, even with a 200k account, if you're doing 2%, you can do this consistently, you can literally make 4k a month, right? And if you're doing 4k a month equals 4 times 12, you can literally easily do 48k a year. You double that again, equals times 2. So if you have a 400k account, let's just say, you'll be doing 96,000, and then that 120,000 just becomes a lot more achievable and a lot more realistic. Does that make sense? And the thing is, yeah, like, even some people say, like, make 10% of what you can, and that's the craziest thing, is like 2% is what your target is, right? And even though the 2% is the target, if you hit this, you could probably lock this account away and then go and trade another account, which then goes into, like, the whole idea of pretty much rotation. So what I wanted to kind of just quickly show you is the opportunity and the possibility is kind of insane, right? If you want me to zoom in, yeah, I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. Right? and it just gives it a more. So what I'm going to do is I'll map it a bit more a little bit later, but I just wanted to open your eyes, because as soon as you do like a visual point of view, you just think, wow, okay, like on 100,000 account, if I actually make 10% of phase 1 and phase 2, one of the biggest things I see a lot of people, and even myself, find that you kind of don't really feel like you've made $10,000. Do you guys agree? Like, yes or no? Like, even though you've made that 10%, it doesn't feel like a real 10%. Does that make sense? Because it's not at that funded stage, which then goes on the psychology of why like the funded side of things just feels whole different compared to phase 1 and phase 2. But the point is, you've done it, and it can be done, and it's proof in the concept, which means it can be done, right? So that being said, if we just drop the risk down and drop it again, you've done it before, right? So the idea is, what I'm trying to get in your head before we move on is, if you've made 10%, you can do it. Even if it's play money, no matter what, you can make 10%. So then if we do it with real money, surely you can make 2%, right? So as crazy as, and I think this is like one of those things where it's like a stupid point of view. It's like to reach 5R, you have to go past 2R. To reach 10%, you have to pass 2%, which therefore means making 2%, it should be a lot more easier for you guys, right? Which is why I just wanted to set the expectation for you guys before moving forward. Hence why prop firms are a stepping stone. Prop firms are a real big guide. Prop firms really help you understand, obviously, in terms of your trading. Prop firms really help you with the opportunity, and prop firms obviously give you that tool to be able to scale yourself. And this is like a great opportunity or a great breakdown in terms of, like I say, a 10k account. Even on the 10k account, if you make 5% and you get 100% of your payout at the moment, that's $500. Then if you make 10%, you get $800. You already there have that 1.3k that you've made, right? Obviously minusing your sign-up evaluation. But even on like a larger scale, if you look at like 100k, right, or even 10k, whatever it may be, it's insane what you can get from it. Now, even on the 2-3% month, which is exactly what I've just mapped out from here, on a 10k, that's still a couple of $100, and a couple of $100 really add up. That couple of $100, guess what? That pays for your fuel, that can pay for your internet. You could, even if you don't use the payouts whatsoever, you could literally save all of that for a whole year and still save 4k, and then put that into your own personal account, or put that into the S&P or a savings, whatever you deem that you want to do from it. So ultimately, the rules are there. Ultimately, it's a really good way for you to scale up, and it's obviously an amazing way to kind of get started. So as you guys obviously know, this is CK Capital. And I think that at the end of the day, props make a better trader, because following the rules make you a better trader. Knowing how you fail also knows where you can go wrong. And then also on top of that as well, with your own personal account, the funny thing is with these rules, right? If you say you've lost 8%, you failed a challenge. On your own personal account, if you've lost 8%, and this is me even in the past, I would just keep trading. Like not in the sense that I would trade it down to 0. I have done that in the past, and I'm sure a few people have obviously joined me in that spiral. But what I'm saying is that once you've done like 8%, it doesn't bother you, and 10%, 12% drawdown in a week or whatever it may be. Whereas this ultimately stops you from breaking really huge rules. Does that make sense? So ultimately, they are a guidance for you. They are a rule set base for you, because trading is a set of strict rules, understood? And if you can't follow them, that's the worst and the best thing in trading, is no one holds you accountable. But guess what? The prop firms do. So that's why these guidance and these rules are so powerful. Okay, so before we go on to the next section of talking about how they're obviously making better traders and everything, I just want to quickly touch on this full journey that I've got with you guys, and some of the lessons I've learned and everything. Like, this is going to be pure fun and pure value. Are you guys ready? Drop a Y if you're ready. Oh damn, there's like 78 of you. Whoa, here you guys are ready to blow up. Okay. Oh, I don't know who won here. Hold on, Reno and David, you two got to keep David's. Oh, I just see David and Hamad smashing it. Let's have a look. Okay. I don't know, I think I'm gonna have to call that one a draw. In terms of like ratio, there's like 5 staff and I see a lot of red and orange. So you blue guys are letting us down. Come on, I'm in the middle. Let me just say I'm in the middle. And then you got Takari just purple, which is okay, cool. You guys are ready. Let's get to it. So, right, this is basically a small preview, a small little clip, completely fun. Here is me buying the challenge. Okay, so I basically documented this. Here's obviously the order number. and the whole platform being given to me. I bought that on, when did I buy that? I can literally just show you right now. File information, details. This was bought on the 12th of August. Okay, so since then I've been obviously sharing everything. I'm going to make a whole plan on my whole strategy of how I've traded. Here was my first trade, and this was great, right? This is great. This is my report card. This is the screen recording. This is before, this is the after, everything. Now, what happened was I write down the time, right? I write down the time of the trade, and I write down the whole breakdown of this. So what I was looking was for a continue, even when I come down to it, look right now, I see. So what I was looking for, this was a pattern A onto the upside. If it breaks into the Tokyo low, I was looking for it to go into Tokyo high, and I was looking for a continuation. But really and truly, the sell was much better. And then I took an L on this trade. Now, the confluences were 30 minutes and 4 hours were looking lower. MAs were in favor in all time frames, pattern A and continuation, first leg. And the only issue was my entry was slightly aggressive. That being said, even though it was aggressive, this ended up being invalid and then pushing all the way up to the upside and taking it off. So reminding myself, closing the chart stops over trading, closing the chart stops the account being blown, and closing the chart stops me from being a moron, and closing the chart stops me from having tilt. Now that coincided, you can see that on the 12th, where's the 12th? Is there a date? Yeah, there's opening day. Here you go. Here are the two trades, right? Here are the two trades that we had on the 12th of August. So that was great for that to be set. Then on the second trade, we came through. Let's go on to this report. We're waiting for the first leg for a pattern day on, actually this was the 12th of August on the second trade. Looking for the first leg, upwards, downwards, and then lower leg region. I prefer for it push onto the downside and correlate to the 4 hours. Ended up pushing there and rejecting on that higher time frame. Had the trade in, candle looked strong, letting it down and obviously trying to let it do its thing. Ended up dropping and then melting, finally push. You can see that there was a support and then a resistance from there, and then ended up taking my take profit. Same idea, same trade idea. This feels good to be able to watch exactly the same trade idea and making an L, but then obviously winning after. So this is exactly, and you'll see, and what the craziest thing is, and this is the first lesson I want to share with you guys. One of the craziest thing is you'll see in this like whole journal is that a lot of the trades I take are exactly the same, but they lose and then win. So the only difference is, and you can see from these losers, is the losers are consistent, but the winners will always outweigh. Right now we're in drawdown, but 1 or 2 trades will put us in break even. Then after that, it will pretty much be put in profit. And this goes into the equity curve that I always talk to you guys about as well, is ultimately trading, it can go down. It doesn't matter. The amount of times I've called out a drawdown, so say that's your starting balance, it doesn't matter because life is always about that equity curve and it always goes up. Ooh, that is a horrible line right now. And as long as you stay consistent with it, sooner or later you'll break even and then you will climb back. And as long as this point is further than this point, sooner or later you will be on the long run. And look, that happens even in the future, right? Where you are able to say you're just able to scale up. You will have your drawback periods and you will come down a little bit further. But guess what? This is still further than where you first started. And this is just life. Like, this is one of the biggest lessons you guys got to take away. It's the same trade. A lot of the times I take the same trade, I take exactly the same breakdown, they just lose, and it just, guess what? The whole thing just pays out a little bit later. Yeah, I know. I don't really use that email, but thank you for that. So here you go for a confirmation onto pattern A, continuation onto the upside, had that and then failed, and then this was perfect. Guess what? We've gone to the fourth trade. Exactly the same trade. Push onto the upside, breaks, and then I was looking for that to take, and then it absolutely ran and then took my take profits and then won. And then you can see from here were the 2 wins, which is here, these 2 trades, and then obviously those sells, and then these ones were just all failed trades again. So there's some great lessons to be learned there, and I'm documenting everything from there. But what I wanted to do is inspire you guys, is to show you, look, this is what it is. It's not like anything fancy. Does that make sense to you guys? Let's try to interact with you guys just quickly before I move on to the next step. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Like, yeah, the thing is, my trades are so simple. Yes or no? Yes. So don't you think that every single one of you guys in here could do exactly the same thing I'm doing? Yes or no? All right, blue definitely won that. So there's a draw, there's 1, and then blues have won 1. So you all can do that. So then don't you think that if you're consistent and if you stuck with it long enough and you tried enough, you'd be able to make money? Yes or no? There you go. So you guys have all figured it out. Now, one of the things I like to do, and we're going to do at the very end of this webinar as well, is called reps. Now, these reps are basically to remind ourselves that this trade strategy works. It helps me identify the pattern, and it's like compounding every single day. It's about going to the gym not for 1 hour once a month. It's about going to the gym 10 minutes a day. It's not about reading one book a day and then doing nothing about it. It's about reading it a little bit by every day and then applying all the knowledge every day. It's the same thing with practicing your jabs. If you want to practice the jabs, you want to practice that 100 times. And guess what? Trading is our profession. So therefore we should be doing reps. We should be practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. So if we're practicing and practicing and practicing, we should be doing reps with our trades. So that's exactly what I do here. So here what I do is I do my setups, I do my breakdown for my trades, and then pretty much have everything from there, and just write everything out and talk about why the trade makes sense, why I'm taking them. And then last but not least, obviously I've got my other trades put down here, and then I'm going to be talking about a full phase 1 reviews, and then I'm going to do the first week review breakdown. And that's it. That's pretty much how the kind of trading works. That's literally giving you a full insight of a how-to, right? So I think that a lot of you guys probably should take some, there should be quite a lot of value in that, in terms of, you know, the ups and downs, to show you that it's about winning and losing. It shows you that, you know, this is the account now, but watch, sooner or later this will pass, and you've all seen it. And I'm sharing this whole journey completely free, all completely breakdown, right? So if that's the case, you guys can watch me do that in real time, and it should inspire and motivate you, because all of you guys can do exactly that, because you've all just agreed that you can all do that. So that's pretty much on how you can become a better trader with prop firms as well, because it keeps you intact. You know, you don't have your personal capital in over risking. You have a community aspect, just like you guys here. You have your scalability. You establish a track record, risk to reward, and consistency, and there's an opportunity to take the professional route. Now, another thing is I'm trying to link this all to TradeZilla. But this is obviously my TradeZilla at the moment, and you can see that July, I think this is July, yeah, July was a horrible month. We ended up having a losing month, but I think it was maybe, yeah, March, January was a very good month. January was a very, very good month, and all breaking out all through here. And this is why it's important for you to completely put all of your stuff and track all of your data and track all of your journals. Even the same for this one on Edge One. This one is fully tracked, and even with this, you can see the full equity graph from here. Even on the data of your times, you can see the profitability from the time of day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays of your winners. Consecutive losers, holding time as well, like your average holding time. Having all of this data just really helps you become a better trader and know a lot more about yourself. And you can get all of this by trading through prop firms and not putting all of your capital at risk. Hence why it makes you a better trader. There's a crazy for the affordability, because at the end of the day right now, so if you guys have never traded with us and you're new here or whatever it may be, there is everyone has this. If you haven't used this code, everyone can use this code, by the way. So if Rena, if you or one of the staff member wants to drop the code, you can. But basically, the one-time code is for everyone to use at least once. So even if you've bought a challenge in the past, it doesn't matter, you can still use this code. Everyone can use it once. I think it's like another month or two for this offer to kind of sit around. And that's crazy, because think about it, you get 100k evaluation. I mean, it sounds insane, 264. And this is 50% of FTMO. So I'm doing FTMOs because obviously they're the #1 prop firm. I'm not delusional. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, CK's better than FTMO. No, we're just in a different lane, and we're just starting off as well, and we're still trying to become a very well-established firm. However, when it comes to FTMO, you can't fake their payout certificates, you can't fake anything out, and that's why I'm doing my full journey on there, to show people and prove to people how the process is supposed to look like. I think one of the biggest problems is, especially with the prop firms, is being gambled too much. A lot of people have made it not so much professional in trading, and I'm here to change that, and I'm here to do the best I can to share my approach to it to take from there. Now, the same thing is, don't think about all of your spending. So even like a night out costs you $80, a new car's 25k, so AirPods even 190, even your laptop or your phone that you're using is crazy. So to invest on that is insane for the opportunity. And that's why it goes into the next lesson, is delayed gratification. Getting in shape is delayed gratification. Putting yourself in the best position is delayed gratification. Saving money and not buying those luxury goods now, but doing it and investing it so you can buy it later at tenfold is delayed gratification. So it's the same thing. It's like, well, why would you want the latest phone if your phone already works? So I'm always 2 or 3 models behind. I only change my iPhone until it starts slowing down. If the car already, if a car gets you from A to B, great. Like, materialistic stuff is great. I get it. Like, I'm a very materialistic guy too. But at the same time, get it when it works, get it when it makes sense, and get it when you have set your family out and sorted everything out. Your family is number one. And do you know what? I wanna do a little spoiler. This whole FTMO journey, that payout is going to be going to something that's very near and dear to myself. So I want you guys to watch that, because when you guys see that, I want it to inspire. Like, seriously, fuck the watches, fuck the car, fuck everything else. Where that money is going to be serious. And it doesn't, I don't care if it's $500, 5,000 or 10,000. Where that money is going is incredibly meaningful to me, and I want that to inspire and motivate you guys so that you can make your dreams become a reality by fucking putting in the work, showing up and doing the best that you fucking can. So your trading journey is here. So no matter where you are, whether it's 100k evaluation, 10k evaluation, this is exactly like my FTMO graph. It's about losing money up and down, and it's the same thing when it goes into your prop firm, and it goes into the scalability later on as well. So you got to make sure that, okay, first, if you don't know, anything about trading and you're still a noob, I'd say 100% get a 10k evaluation. Even the 10k, we have a booster. It's a $48 right now. $48 just to $48 just to try, $48 just to learn. Even if you fail, it doesn't matter. I spent 20 challenges before I got my first payout. I literally would spend $48 just to trial, figure it out. Okay, the rules. Okay, I broke the news trading rule. I've lost my money. I breached it. It is what it is. After it's breached, right? Because once you know these mistakes that you make and you don't get a refund, you will not do the same mistakes again. Does that make sense? So that's why it's incredibly important. And then once you do that, sooner, yes, you'll fail your 10k challenge, then you'll maybe pass it, then you'll maybe do another 25k, pass it, fail it, pass it, whatever happens. But sooner or later, the goal is to do that scalability and start getting $500,000 funding and just getting funding everywhere you can, which then helps you make your 120k. So now let's talk to the absolute fun stuff of 120k. Well, really and truly, you need to have a full-fledged plan. But before we have a full-fledged plan, let's just break this down once more. Let me just finish this. So you cool. Yeah, that's fine. Just leave it from there. Okay, cool. Right, let's go on to the plan. So ultimately, I'm gonna give you, are you guys ready? Take some notes. I'm gonna give you a full-fledged plan right now. So step number 1. What is step number 1? Actually have a strategy. That seems so crazy, but it's so true. We actually have a free strategy. So Rena, if you want to drop that link, it's a free training strategy. It's with support and resistance. It's really simple. If you want to learn that, you can have that. You can do ICT if you really want to have no idea anything about that. You've got so many people in the space where you can learn the strategies. You can YouTube it, you can Google it, I don't know, whatever you want. But the point is, you cannot do anything else until you have a strategy. And this strategy will need to consist of, obviously, proof of concept. So what does that mean? It actually has to work. It actually has to work in back testing. It actually has to work in sample testing. It actually has to make you money in the long run. Not in 1 month, right? Literally within 10 years, 5 years. Because it's all about that longevity and understanding that's the case, right? So if you want to be able to understand that you got to make money, is you have to have something that works. You have to actually have a strategy that actually works. So if the strategy then works, then what do you need to do? Well, then you need to go on to the second step, which is belief. This is crazy. This is so crazy, this belief. And what do I mean by belief? Believe you can actually fucking do it if you stuck to it. And because the thing is, if you truly knew that if you followed your plan and discipline, you'd be more disciplined. And it's okay to make mistakes. I made mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes on here already. In 1 week, I made 2 mistakes. I did 2 extra trades on this on phase 1, where I shouldn't have, which is fine. I don't really mind. I don't have a problem with that. It's part of life. But in the sense that I know that if I make a mistake, guess what? If I have belief and I understand that if I stick with it, sooner or later, it will pay off. And what that means is here's a quick question, guys. Do every single one of you, right? Ready? Yes or no? Every single one of you believe that you can make $5 with a proven trading strategy? Yes or no? So if you can make $5, guess what? You've got the skill. Then $50 is doable with the same strategy. Possible? Yes or no? Yes. So the point is, everyone in here then now knows this. Step 1, a strategy is important because we need to have the proof of concept. Step 2, we must believe in ourselves and that because we know that even if we make a mistake and we stick to the process, we can still make $5. That being said, guess what? Now if I split that $5 into 1%, do every single one of you believe you can make 1% a month? A month. Not a day, not an hour, 1% a month. Now let's increase it to 2% a month. Yes, 2% is very, very, very possible. Which then goes into 3 is to consistency and patience. Okay, because the thing is, look, if you did 2% a month, you'd make 2K a month. If you did 2% a month for 200, you'd do 4K a month. On $500,000, you would do 10K a month. So on 500,000 funding, you did 2% a month. I know this sounds so crazy just to write it out. You would make 120K in a year. How does that sound? And here's the thing. The risk in order to make 2%, this is a very, 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 very rhetorical question. Isn't the risk to make 2% a lot lower than the risk to make 10%? Yes or no? Stupid question, right? Risk for 10% is lower. Sorry, 2% is lower than 10%. And 2% is easier to make than 10%. So there again. Even on the 5%, you make 5% a month. On a 200K account, that's still 10K a year. But for me, the 2% is so much more important. Why? Because 2% is a lot less risk, a lot less stress, and a lot more doable. And guess what? This is the biggest one. Are you guys ready? It's a lot more doable consistently. Making 2% a month is way more easier than 5% a month, 10% a month, 20% a month. Does that make sense, everyone? Yes? Now this goes on to the best bit that everyone loves Dan for. If you can see it, you can believe it, you can achieve it. Everything that you have right now is in your mind, was built for you. Everything that you see in that vision, you have a number in your mind. It has 120K, 150K, 5K, 10K, 20K, 50K. I don't know. That's the reason it's for you, because you know it's for you. And it goes into what I literally just started off this whole webinar with as well. I'm sick, my eyes hurt, I'm feverish, I'm all over the place. And the thing is, do you want it as bad as you want to breathe? Create the lifestyle that you want. It's all on you. Powerful. Fucking gives me goosebumps, man. So what's next is, if you guys want to support Don't forget to check out obviously our Facebook. Please do check out our Facebook, because we are actually putting a lot of time and effort into our Facebook. Whoa, there's 77 of you guys, damn. And on this Facebook, obviously we're sharing obviously our content that we love. We've got the 50% promos that we have at the moment, so if you haven't already copped the challenge or you've never used that code, you can go and use it. And then most importantly, we have our main promo of the whole entire month before we sell out. I think we've got like 200 accounts left. Is the special one is the 10k account for $48. That's right, $48 you can get a 10k account, and then you get a 100k account and a 50k and 25k at 30%. So you can use org there, and you can buy in the link in the community chat right there as well. So moving on, pretty much it's completely up to you to make your life become a dream, become a reality. Click that link if you want to go and get your challenge. And now we're going to move on to the market analysis for the week, and then also I'm just going to do some reps as well. So let's do the first week review of obviously the FTMO. So we'll go through the pricing first. I think most people are most interested about P&L, so I'll start with that. You can see that the first trade I tried was here. I had an additional position, so we had 1% here and then 0.5% added. I always do 2 positions majority of the time, 2 or 3 positions added. Then the trade didn't work. It was a sell. You can see literally at the time, sell here. And then 10 minutes later, I tried again. And what was great about this trade is you can see exactly on that trade trying again, it ended up literally paying for way more than the losses. And that's why it's very, very important. Ultimately paying the risk to reward, if you have a 1 to 3, let's just say, you only need a 30% win rate. So win rate is really, really, really not that important. It's completely down to you on how you break it down. In terms of opening the positions, yes, it's because they're all managed in terms of lot sizes and risk. So the maximum lot sizes available is like 300 or 400 lots, but I'm doing literally half of that. So the risk is managed, and it is obviously doable. This trade here was a slightly a bit over. It was about 1 point something risk, 1.2%. Really and truly, this is because I just generally like the trade, and that's why I was willing to give it a little bit more. It's not the end of the world. I wouldn't really put like 5% risk on it, but it's just a tiny bit over that 1% risk. So if we just go back in time, what's great about this is on CTrader, it will show you the trade. So here's the trade here, which we're looking for a buy, but which you can see the overall buy idea was great because it did push higher as the overall consensus, but it ended up just having that pull back down first. Ended up trying was it 1.5 times more. These are 2 added positions, so this ended up failing. So this even though there is 5 trades here, this is 2 tries. We did that once more again. Guess what? This is the perfect example. You see these 2 trades that were a loss. This trade is exactly the same idea. Exactly the same idea. It's the same position, and then became a win. And then from here, I ended up just trying a few trades. I think these ones here were a loss, and then gold. This last position here was totally unnecessary. This was me just being an idiot, breaking my rules here. So this is one of those trades where I completely take ownership on this, and this is totally me making a mistake. But does that stop me? No. What did I say earlier about this in terms of the breakdown? I have the belief, and then all I have to do is make consistency. Making mistakes is fine. It's just there's one thing that's different when it comes into trading at the current caliber that I am now. Is a lot more like there's a lot more less mistakes. It's just, and the mistakes are nowhere near as detrimental. Whereas back in the day, those mistakes, maybe I would, carry on trading, and when I did that, I would just keep and try and revenge more and then lose the challenge. There's these types of things that are completely different. So here goes into the first trade, which I told you guys about. It was actually the sell, not the buy. It was the sell idea. That buy idea was about a rep. And then the second trade, I did exactly the same trade. So first here, and then it ended up hitting TP. So first try I didn't win, second try I won. Third here was exactly the same trade I was telling you guys where I failed multiple times here. And also what's really cool, actually really good to see as well, even though the trade was going to lose no matter what as well. The crazy and the best thing about this was I made a few mistakes, which is one of those things where you're rusty, when you haven't played golf or played a sport in a while, you become rusty. And I was setting my stop loss a tiny bit too tight, and I should have lowered the position and widened that. And the best thing about this is making that mistake and journaling that, I was then able to take that into the next trade. So what was crazy again is then this trade was exactly the same one as yesterday, and I even wrote it down. Was a super busy day today, wasn't able to focus on a trade, but it was exactly the same set and forget trade. And these are the best videos and the best trades to do, because it's exactly the same one as yesterday. Exactly. The only difference is the day. That's the best thing. So I lost 2.5% and I made 3% the day after, and I was trying twice. So if I took 2 trades and I win them, that's 6% in a day. So right now is obviously a great example, and I love the fact that, and here's the FTMO page, the balance and the losing, like the whole everything, completely transparent for you guys to see. And the best thing about this is you guys can see me lose. You can see me make mistakes and see this. And I think this is best, because if I came into this and then just had a straight upwards curve and pass the challenge really easily, I think I have done that in the past, and I think that steers people away. Whereas now I keep going, I was in drawdown, came out, I went in drawdown again, came out, and then I'm in drawdown again, and watch, I'm gonna come out again. And that's the best part. And even right now, this is even worse drawdown. I'm at 193 now, so it's like 3%, which is great. So what happens is you just need to make sure that I'm doing the reps, make sure that I'm making less mistakes, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm checking the news. I reminded myself to check the news, check these trades. They look good, held on, really good trade overall on that last one, and just tried. To be honest, pretty happy with the idea. It was a very aggressive idea, but the problem is with aggressive ideas, you do want to try them a bit more. Okay, so that's the first review of the FTMO. So let's just do that now. So let's just write this up together whilst we're all here. So let me just zoom in for you guys so you can see what I'm typing. I'm just going to focus on typing and you guys can read as I write. So here's a little bit of self-affirmation. Remind myself, ultimately, the full journey is something special. I'm doing something with the payout. That keeps me motivated. Am I going to do this to the best 100% I can? Yes. Am I going to make mistakes? Yes. Can I do it? Yes. Yes, I can. Will I do it? Yes, I will. And guess what? Yes, I have. Okay, here we go. God's will. And then now this goes on to the next bit for you guys, which is what you're waiting for. So we'll do a quick analysis, which is the overall time frame. So DAX is what I mainly trade. Do you know what? I'm going to remove all the drawings. That's right, everything is removed and completely fresh. And I zoom out onto the daily. I'm going to get this one here because this flash wick is definitely a zone I want to pay attention to. We've obviously had a very choppy upper region up here. I'm going to obviously do this high, complete high, and then we've also got another high here that has been tested. Then as soon as we dive down into the lower time frame, we can see here, go into the 4 hours, and we can see that there's a lot of movement and a lot of structure being tested here, which then means ultimately I'm expecting something like this. These two areas are areas of attention, so this one here and this one here. So these two zones are going to be hit, and these two zones are going to be areas that I want to focus on and see where the market is going to go. I'll do gold just for the entertainment. I'm not really trading gold as much, but gold has made a new high. I was looking for a rejection up here because we had a triple top, but it looks really, really good for a continuation now. Gold is rallying and making new highs like no tomorrow. I think that pullback of gold is not going to happen for a very long time. We've had a drop down to the 2.2k around on the 24th. If we go onto the weekly, here was the double bottom on the June mark, and then we're just making higher highs. We're on a huge bullish momentum on gold. So I generally think that gold is just going to be making new highs. So there's nothing for me to really trade on this. The one thing I am going to note to myself is pull away from gold again. Unnecessary trades are being made on. That's it. So I can't even spell. My horrible spelling. Necessary. Thank you. So that's another thing that's updated with this week. I'm going to pull away from trading gold, only trading DAX pretty much. So they're the two market analysis done. Now that's it, starting the week with a clear mind. Now let's go on to the next thing, which is to do some reps. So what I'm going to do is switch this over to only really need 2 now because I've dropped it down. I'm going to save that template. I keep 30 minutes here. I'm going to go onto the 10-minute chart here, and then we're going to go to Monday. So this was Monday's trade. That was beautiful. There was another one here at 1:30. Although 1:30 would have took me out and then it dropped. So another one at 5:10. So just gonna put that in. So 1:30 Monday, 1:30 p.m. What else was that? 5:20. Let's just do 13 like that. What are the best trades? And then let's go on to the next day. Yep, that trade was pretty valid, but then again it shows early morning would have been a loss. But the same buy ideas in the afternoon were perfect at 2:10 and then onwards. So then again, that confirms early morning trades again. Same trade idea, yeah, exactly that. It's the same trade, but just different time. Here we go, Wednesday. Tried the same trade again, but it only worked in the evening. And also Wednesday was just choppy, so Wednesday was inevitable. Can't even spell. Then Thursday, this is what you guys are going to love. Look at that. Same trade idea. Look, pattern A, push onto the upside, and then this is at 12.40. And guess what? This again just gives me that amazing reconfirmation and gives me that the understanding again that what I'm doing works. $2.30. So now let's tally these up. So that's 2 there, 4 minus 1. 3. Let's just say we got one of those. There's 5. Oh yeah, this was a very big trade. So that's
So if we played the week perfect, we would be up around 5 to 10R. Look at that. That says it all, right? So I didn't play the week right, and I'm minus 3R is the result. But that's okay. Now I know next week I just got to play the week a bit better. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So, if you guys want to get the free strategy, there is a link there that Renner is, and all you have to do is sign up for that, and there's a free video that gets sent to you. If you haven't already, definitely go and check out our challenges. Obviously, the August promo is insane. There's 30% off of all your challenges right now, $48. So if you want to join me on this journey, you can, obviously at CK Capital, which is pretty much half the price, and obviously with us guys. And then if you haven't already, do go and check out our Facebook, and then that also goes and finalizes onto the giveaway. I'm actually going to add to this giveaway right now, and only Discord people are going to know to it. It's if you guys want to go and comment the word Discord and do all of these things on there, right? So comment why you love trading plus the word Discord on this actual post. I'm going to pick an extra 5 winners on there. So you've got, let's give it, how many days left? Whenever this day finishes, 6 days left to do this, because then it gives people who watch this recording to enter as well. So everyone on there has their own opportunity to win 5 10Ks. They're just separate people. But the people now from Discord who are going to go check this out, go and do all the things they need to do and type the word Discord on it, are going to have an opportunity to win another 5 accounts. So you guys are spamming the crap out of that. Thank you so much for your time today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, doing all the things you need to do.